Hi everyone, we are discussing about gene flow and our objective is to explain gene flow. So we will go through a few questions and discuss the answers of them. We had already done them in the classroom itself. We have seen what random mutation is. Random mutation, random means a sudden unplanned mutation. That is a change in the DNA or the change in gene is what we call as random mutation. And we have seen a lot and lot of examples of neutral, beneficial and harmful mutation in the classroom itself. Now without wasting time, we'll just go through the lesson itself. We are going through the lesson where we are going to read the lesson in page 294 and we'll start with reproductive isolation. So from the name itself, reproductive means producing a new ones, isn't it? And isolation means separation. So when we come across reproductive isolation, we talk about the separation of a particular species and due to which they will be reproducing in that separation itself compared to the other species members of it. So when we come across the lesson, we will find that about 3 million years ago, the land was stripped and Isthmus of Panama was formed. And due to that, a population of snapping shrimp was divided into two sides of the isthmus. So you get to know that depending upon different species, their mating signals, their color variations, their traits, all these they have separate things within them. And this will help them to survive and reproduce in their environment. And in the particular environment, these two groups will be reproducing in separation, that is reproductive isolation. Or reproductive isolation occurs when a small group can no longer reproduce with the rest of the population. So we consider the shrimps which are on either side of the isthmus, where one side of the shrimps are able to reproduce by themselves only. That means they are separated from the shrimps from the other side. So they will be having or they will develop different traits or mating rituals that make mating with one another difficult or impossible. So this separation between the two groups or separated by the isthmus will uh, prevent them from breeding from each other group. So they act as a barrier or a separator. So we will see different examples, that is in New Guinea, a mountain range separates two populations of bowerbirds. So bowerbirds separation is also there and they differ or they have their peculiarities in decorating their nests, and we have already seen that these are done by the male birds to attract the female birds in order to mate, and due to this both natural and human activities, reproductive isolation is being caused. It can be done due to the activities done by us or maybe naturally occurring like a forest fire or an earthquake or a landslide. All these can give way towards reproductive isolation. So you will have a task of writing down the answers of these two questions and then post to the assignment. We will go for the next page, and since our objective is to talk about the gene flow, we'll be discussing about gene flow. So just going through the lesson, some plants develop spiny burrs to spread their seeds. These burrs can attract or attach to the fur of animals and allow seeds to reach new areas. This is what we have talked about, seed dispersal, right? The animals help in seed dispersal, the flies, the bees, all those help in seed dispersal. So in this case, gene flow is described the movement of genes from one population to another. That is, the population are almost similar just because of this transfer of gene. So when the gene flow is restricted between the population often have strong genetic differences. So if we consider we and our parents, there may be lot of similarities, and there will be also dissimilarities. So due to the gene flow, the similarities are there, and if this gene flow is restricted, then both of the generations will have a lot of dissimilarities. So this can also happen due to the natural and human activities. So you can see due to those many of the birds and insects migrate in search of their food, in search of their mates, and so many resources. One more example is given is that of Sika deer that bred easily with the native red deer, introducing new genes to the native deer population. So here are a few examples which you could find here, and I hope that all these things will be very clear. And if still not clear, you may message me on Schoology, and you will have this assignment to be completed today, and make sure that you're completing and submitting it on time. Thank you.